Hello, my name is Greg Perkins, and I'm the instructor for this Math 2 class. It is the fall of 2025. Since this is an online class, we are going to have online homework that's done on mymathlab.com. I'm actually going to make a second video right after this explaining how MyMathLab works. This video is about the syllabus and in general how the class works. So one thing that you will need is a graphing calculator like a Texas Instruments TI-84. Hopefully you could borrow one from a friend or find one cheap. So I'll be using that in my explanations and the lectures, and it's very useful to have one of those. Okay, so if I skip down to the middle, there's going to be something due every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So rather than having one big chunk due at the end of the week, there's a little bit due on Monday, a little bit every Wednesday, and a little bit every Friday. And in fact, if you look at pages 2, 3, and 4, these are all of the due dates for the whole semester. And if you notice, Wednesday, participation quiz. Friday, week 1 homework. Monday, problem set number 1. And then it basically repeats participation quiz number 2, week 2 homework, problem set number 2, etc., etc. So there's something due every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you look at the grading criteria, the problem sets are worth 40% of your grade. The MyMathLab homework, 25%. Participation quizzes, which are done on Canvas, that is going to be 25%. And then at the end of the semester, the final will be on MyMathLab, and that's only worth 10%. So as you can see, the biggest chunk is going to be the problem sets, which are basically homework questions that I've made up and I feel are most important, and those are going to be graded for correctness. All right. So like I said over here, you should print out or save pages 2 through 4 because that's all of the due dates. So you'll always know what's coming up and what's due every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And now, another important thing I've got here in bold is that for the problem sets, please make sure you show all of your work. I grade all of the steps, not just the answer. So please show all of your work. And now let's take a look at Canvas. So when you log on to Canvas for Math 2, I have everything set up week by week. So week 1 is algebra review. In fact, the first 3 weeks are review because with Math 2, it's not required that you've taken pre-calculus. It would definitely help if you've taken it, but it's assumed that you haven't taken pre-calculus. So we basically need 3 weeks of review. Week 1, algebra. Week 2 is basically some pre-calculus with functions. But I start at the beginning and explain everything. And exponentials and logs is also review. And then it's week 4 with limits that we actually start doing calculus. So when you open up one of these weeks, let's start with week 1. So I've got a video. And now, I guess that I was watching it before because it says I'm at minute 4. So these videos are meant for the whole week. So these are going to be like 45. This one's 49 minutes long. Of course, you don't need to watch the whole thing at once. You might want to take a break, etc. And I also have the camera facing down. Like I said, I'm using the TI-84 so I can show you how to use the calculator on all of those. So that's going to be the lectures. Then let me go back. And then when I finished making the video, I then made a PDF of the notes. So if you want to look at that or print those out or save a PDF, the notes are there. And then every week on Wednesday, there is the participation quiz. The first week, it's just like information about yourself. There's going to be times when I do ask math questions on the participation quiz. You can use your notes. You can look it up. You can refer back to the videos. But the participation quizzes are basically a way to check in to say, okay, how did you do on problem set number 1? Is there anything that you have questions about? Here's a math question. Please show me what the steps would be. So it's just to make sure that everybody checks in at least once a week with the participation quiz. Then there's going to be the MyMathLab homework. The MyMathLab is what I'm going to make the second video about. But notice that whenever there's the homework, I also have examples. So what I do is I go into their homework, the MyMathLab homework, and I look for questions that I know students often ask me about, and I print those out, and I then show you how to do those problems the way that MyMathLab is asking them. So if you get stuck on the homework, then please watch those examples. And then basically, once you've finished the lecture and the notes and the homework, then you're ready to do problem set number 1. So the problem sets are going to be similar to the lecture examples. Find an equation through a line. I do examples just like this in the lectures. As you saw in the video, I was doing exponents, so that's like these 3 right here. And so I would like it if you could print it out, or if you've got a tablet, then just show your work in the space provided. If you're not able to do that, then please do it on a separate blank piece of paper and do write number 1, find the equation through the line, and then write your work. Write out your solution in that space. All right, let me go back real quick to that list. So you can borrow a graphing calculator from the library. I know that they have a limited amount, so you would need to do that right away. So you just click on this and there would be a form to fill out, and you could borrow one from the library. Also, when you go to turn in problem set number 1, so let me show you, you can go to assignments and then problem sets. Keep in mind, right now you're looking at the teacher version, so with the student version, it would probably just be what's available, which would be problem set number 1. And then I put another copy of it right here in case you didn't see it on the other page. And then you do need to upload a file, which is a PDF. So right now it's August 20th, so class hasn't started, but there would be a button right about here that says upload your work. All right. And then also, let me go back to the home page. Also, when you go to, like I said, this needs to be uploaded as a PDF. And if you're not sure how to do that, then watch this video right here about how you can create a PDF with your phone. And they're not trying to sell you anything. It was actually another community college teacher that made that video, but it's pretty good. So it's a way you could use your phone to make a PDF. All right, so that's the basics of how the class works. And if you look at the next week, it's basically another, here's the video, here's the notes, take the participation quiz, do the homework, and then problem set number 2. So basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. One other small thing I forgot to mention on the syllabus is if you want to email me, please use this gperkins@hartnell.edu, because that is, of course, Gmail, which is 100% reliable. And especially if you have questions, because if you have questions and it's math, then what I do is I get a piece of paper, I write out the answer to what you asked me, because there's going to be math symbols. It's much easier to handwrite it. And then I take a picture of it and I send it back to you. So I would prefer that you use the gperkins@hartnell.edu rather than the message system that's in Canvas. Okay, so that's the basics of how the class works. I'm going to finish up this one, and then I'm going to make the video about MyMathLab. So please take a break and then watch that video. I'll see you over there.